Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's your boy Raptor Spiritus, and I am back with another one. I wanted to quickly just dive into the roadmap roundup. Before I do that, I did want to address the last video I posted about the group that got banned because they were blockading Grim hacks. So there's a lot of controversy about that. Some people agree, some people don't. And I just want to make one thing clear. We're all entitled to our opinions about how things are, because reality is that from what CIG has done in the past and now, they don't seem to support certain forms of people like extorting money from people to have access to something like Grim hacks. When it comes to pirating in the space lanes, that's all fair game, right? So it's kind of a different situation, and just because the mechanic exists for people to, blockade Grim hacks as it's a neutral place in Stanton, I see what the point is, where if it's allowed, then people should feel like they should be able to do it. But the reality is that that's not really the case. Just because the mechanics allow for it right now, it doesn't mean that you really should be doing that. But again, everybody can do what they want. That's the whole point of this game. It is really open, but at the same time, I want to remind everybody, the game is up. It's up to the devs. It's up to CIG. It's up to Chris Roberts how he wants the game to be. If they say they don't support things like that, I mean, you can say griefing is open into interpretation, but the reality is that regardless if someone was on a power trip or not, someone thought that was a little bit much what they were doing. That's all I'm saying. I don't support griefing, but like I said, I do support piracy. If you're out in a space lane, right outside of an area, whether it be ArcCorp or Crusader or Microtech or Hurston, you're right outside the planetary orbit, and you are QE, quantum interdicting people with a QED and yanking their cargo from them. Fuck it, so be it. It's dead space. It's fair game. But when it comes to not letting people enter a space station as it means to get money, for me, it's not conducive, because if they would try that at any other station and fire on people, the station would fire on them and just obliterate them. So again, just because Grim Hex doesn't do that, because it allows, it's supposed to be a safe haven for people who have committed crimes and they're trying to find a safe place to harbor. That's what Grim Hex is. It's not for people to abuse that right, that it's not going to fire on them, because it's really meant for bounty hunters to try to catch, bounties trying to escape to Grim Hex to find safe harbor. That is how I see it, and that's just my opinion, and that is my viewpoint. It's nothing wrong. Everybody has their own viewpoint. If you think that you can do whatever the hell you want to in the game, then you do that. That's fine. But the reality is that if it gets flagged or you get snitched on or whatever, and the devs or whoever, the moderators, decide to ban you, that's their prerogative, because that's just showing that is not how they intend the gameplay to be. So I'm not going to harp on it too long, but as I said, I want us to have a civilized conversation, and if we're not going to agree, but that's okay. I respect everyone's opinion. If you support the group that got banned, I respect that. More power to you. I personally don't think that it's right what they were doing, but that's just my opinion, and that's okay. So I just wanted to throw that out there real quick, but let's get into the 4.3.2 patch notes that they have for release. So there's a new event. It's Fight for Pyro. So again, I guess that storyline is going to end up, I don't know if it's coming to a conclusion or what, but in my opinion, if you ask me, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's going to open up to Nyx, because Nyx is the next jump gate that's in Pyro, and Nyx is the next system coming out, and we've already seen the Vandal in game. Actually, I mean, the one we saw, he was like filleted open, but still, we still saw him. And when you log into the game and you read the little waiting screen that they have, the loading screen, it talks about how in Nyx people are selling off vandal corpses to these people in the Onyx facility. So really and truly, I think that it's leading into Nyx, and it's really my hope that Nyx is going to be the next system, and I would hope that maybe the Nyx is going to be by the end of the year. That's just my hope. We'll see what happens. So next on the list, Klaus Warner laser repeaters art refactor. So we had the same thing happen with Bearing. They changed the size 1 through 3 cannons. Artwork, I really feel like if you're really changing the artwork, you need to change all the sizes, not just 1 through 3. Just change 1 through 7 or whatever you have. I think that's kind of important. I think the 1 through 3 thing, maybe they're seeing if they like it or not. I don't know. But I personally would like them to do all of the whole lineup of weapons. So this will be interesting because, the Klaus Warners, I do believe, are like the Panthers, the Rhinos. So it'll be good to see these repeaters in a new form. So I'm looking forward to it because I personally like those weapons. I think they're pretty cool. Next up, new Wicklow ship offers. This is like the Hercules A2, the Superior Prowler Utility, the Ares, Ion, and Inferno. And of course, you get special paints, special components for it. So if you're a grinder that likes to have special ships that you grind for, Wicklow is the spot to go. Next up, there's a new heavy battle tech armor, and I will just go ahead and show that if I can find it really fast, because I personally thought it was really cool. It basically is a more militarized version of the Corbel armor that we saw before. So as we're looking at this, look at this thing. And it has, if you guys have noticed, a new backpack. Because basically from before this point, all they do is recycle the same backpacks. There's never really a new backpack with any new set of armor. They just recycle what they already have in a new color or something. Just like the Geist armor, the backpack was, I forget which one it is, what's the name of it, but it usually come in green. You can get it from, I do believe, Corp or something, but it's the backpack they've always had for light armor. So it's really nothing new. This armor is completely new. It's not just a helmet with the old armor body. It's not an old armor body, or with a new helmet. It's a new armor 1000%, and it has a new backpack. I love this thing. This thing is super dope, and it looks like it actually is the same manufacturer as the Corbel industrial armor. I am looking forward to this so much. I like to buy armor, as everybody knows. I do the armor of the day little videos as well, because I always try to mix and match armor and put stuff together to make some cool looking armors. I think this thing looks dope, in my opinion. So I can't wait to see this. I can't wait to get my hands on it. This is actually definitely new. It's not one that we saw from CitizenCon during the Starware presentation. So I can't wait to see it. So I'm looking forward to that a lot. And then we have new hairstyles. The new hairstyles is just another regular hairstyle, and then one's a mohawk. So as you want to rock a short mohawk or whatever, there you go. AI FPS turrets. So we thought we were going to get this last patch. We didn't get it. So we're supposed to be getting it now. It says adding anti-personnel turrets for players to avoid or destroy, providing additional PvE challenges. So this is, still building on PvP and PvE environments for everybody to play and work as a team to overcome. And then mission pickup on locations, enabling new missions to be discovered and added to journals when you approach or enter a designated area. I think that's cool because just like most MMOs, you have, when you go to specific places, you get the just, you know, random missions that are like basically like a bunch of side quests just based off of the area you're in. And I think that's super cool. It adds a little bit more depth and ability to have little side stories on different planets and different areas for players, which basically increases the amount of content that players get to enjoy or participate in. I'm a big fan of this. I'm looking forward to it. Now, that's pretty much all we have for that. The other portion is the progress tracker, and you see crafting, engineering, FPS radar, inventory rework, transport refactoring, command module. The command module, I will say, I'm not thrilled at the decision they made, but again, it's not my game. CIG knows their vision and knows how they want to do things. The command module is affecting the release of the Ironclad. I have the Ironclad, of course, and so I really would like to get my hands on it. And honestly, I could care less if the module detaches or not right away. It's not a huge make or break for me. But just like when the Wolf came out, it had no components that could be that would come out, so it wasn't up to gold standard. But they released it anyways, and then they said, okay, we're going to release the full gold standard version with the components that do come out. So in my opinion, like I said, and this is probably more of a selfish thing, and I'm biased because I just want the Ironclad to come out. I've been waiting a while for it. Plus, you know, another ship I've been waiting on is the Zeus Marquis, which they're waiting for Bounty Hunting version 2, which reality is I know that's why they're waiting for it, but I could still use the ship plenty in the current game situation. So, but that's neither here nor there. So that's what the module portion is that we're waiting on. And then we have the progress tracker over here. And so base building, you see this right here? It says it's supposed to be like early November. Base building is supposed to be done. I would love to see that. We'll see. Like if that's true, like base building being done by the end of October, early November, that is awesome. And of course, take this stuff as a grain of salt. You see it here, but you know it's CIG. So next we have command module. Like I said, it's not coming out till February, which I'm pretty sure by February we'll see the Ironclad. But I just hate that I'm not going to be able to get it for this long, which is I personally just don't like it. Anyways, crafting is supposed to be coming middle December. So we're gonna get base building and crafting before the end of the year. That would be awesome. Engineering, we're supposed to be getting that before the end of this month. I'm like, that would be so freaking cool. And then of course, FPS radar scanning, which, you know, you saw in CitizenCon when they were talking about like the tracker armor and whatnot. And they did a little demo, being able to actually have like, and for FPS, having a radar that scans, you can see stuff and give you objectives. If this all comes like before the end of the year, I'm gonna be super excited. And then the other thing, the inventory rework that we've been seeing small pictures of, that is freaking, like, if this is true, if this all stuff is accurate and they're planning on having these things out before the end of the year, let's go. These are going to be big changes, especially if they are able to drop Nyx like either at the end of this year or early next year. That would be phenomenal. So we'll just have to see what happens. So that's all that is for the roadmap roundup. Now, the other thing that some people noticed that they actually, I got this from a Discord, is that some of the links that they had, they just kind of checked the URLs and went backwards. So there's a link for the Anvil Paladin, which is straight to flyable, which we all know is coming in the next patch. Something called the Asperia Stinger. Now, this is something where some people are speculating, because Asperia deals with alien ships, that the Stinger is in correlation to the Vandal Stinger, which if I can maybe find a picture of this, the Vandal Stinger was I believe, let's see, and it was this one. This right here. It was from that you saw in CitizenCon whenever in Squadron 42, whenever the Vandal were defeated and the ship left the King ship, that decent size, looked like a heavy fighter ship that flew out. That's the Stinger. So people are thinking that Asperia has their version of it. So that would be kind of cool, actually, to be honest. So just keep your eyes peeled for that one as well. And then lastly, we have Gray's Market Shiv. I personally think this is that awkward looking Drake ship that we saw back in CitizenCon that was a silhouette. I think that's what that is. Me personally. Let me see if I can find a, let's see, Drake. Let's see if there's this one. See that? Oh, I'm sorry, you guys can't see that because it's not on the screen. Dude, I'm bugging. Move this over. There you go. This thing. So, yeah, I'm curious, to see what this is. It actually looks like the module for the Caterpillar and the Ironclad. That's what that looks like with some wings. I mean, it looks a little awkward, I'll be honest, but I like Drake, so I'm curious to see what it's gonna look like. So, and in case my screen had it messed up where you guys couldn't see it, we go back to the Shiv so you guys make sure you guys saw that. So that's Shiv, but that the Stinger. That's the Vandal Stinger, so people are thinking that the Asperia is going to be a modified version of this. So there's that. There was also a page for the Perseus as well, but these are all none of the pages have anything on them. But when you look in the URL link, kind of in the code description, it pops this up. So that's something to look forward to, and we'll have to see what happens. But that's pretty much all I have right now, guys. So that was my roundup for you. It wasn't anything too crazy, but I appreciate you guys sticking with me to the end. And as always, I always want to hear your opinions. What do you guys think about the new heavy armor that they got coming out? I personally like it. I think it's cool. What do you think about the possibility that Asperia took a Vandal Stinger and made it their own? Which, again, all seems to piece together what's happening in Nyx, because the Vandal's supposed to have a presence in Nyx. What do you guys think about the Gray Market Shiv? Do you think it's that weird Drake ship that we saw? Who's going to buy the Paladin? Is anyone going to buy the Paladin? What y'all think about that? There's a lot, just let me know what you guys think in the comments. Again, like I said, I always welcome the conversation. You people have been wonderful. Even the ones that may disagree with things that I've said, you guys have been super respectful, and I appreciate the conversation and the being cordialness about it. So, without further ado, stay safe out in the verse, and I'll see you guys in the next one.